Hey guys, so welcome back to the channel. I actually found some footage of when I originally took the Triumph speedtriple apart to get to the spark plugs and to change the air filter, do a bit of servicing, things like that. So I'm going to put that footage together now on this video because I think it might be helpful. I'm not going to like edit it and clip loads of the stuff out and just jump to certain pieces. I'm just going to put all the clips straight in, so hopefully there's something in there that somebody can use or find in the future that's helpful. I know that when I look at YouTube videos, sometimes they go really quickly and then I have to skip back and pause and skip back. So I'm leaving it all in pretty much unedited so that hopefully there's some content in there that will help somebody when they want to tear down their speedtriple or take the battery out, change plugs, do whatever needs to be done. So here's all the footage. Hope it helps somebody, and I'll see you again soon.
Hi all, so this is the spark plugs and air filter change on a speedtriple 1050. Just turn the music down a second. There we go. So first thing to do, put your key in, take your seat hump or your seat off, and then you need to take the seat off via these two Allen head screws there, or bolts. Next thing is undo the three here, 1, 2, 3, to take the plastic battery cover off. And then there's an 8mm bolt there and an 8mm bolt there, and they come with these sleeves as well, so don't lose those, and then you take those out. So the next thing to do is to the tank actually sort of shuffles and lifts up now. I've got a lot of wiring and other stuff under there that with things I've done in the past. It will catch just on the battery cables there, so you just need to jiggle it, and then it pivots back on this bolt, and then you can prop this up to get to the connections. So I can't do that one-handed, so I'll do that now and then I'll come back. Right, so there we are. I've used a rubber mallet, as you can see, to proper open the tank. Gives you access to the battery. I mean, we'd had access to the battery anyway with the cover off, but a little bit more if you want to route any wiring and stuff like I've done here, down past the fuel lines, etc., for any accessories. So the battery's strapped in to the airbox, as you can see there. I don't know if you can actually change the air filter. You probably could. It looks like you could probably change the air filter in situ, just like this, to be honest. Now, I'm also actually questioning, well, breather hose has just popped off, look, so be careful with that. There's a breather hose there. There's 1, 2 breather hoses, and then you've got your fuel line connection, and you've got there's two electrical connections around this side that have got tabs that you need to press in and then pull off. So I'm going off on one now. The fuel connection here has got 2 tabs. It's got one other side. They both need to be pressed as you pull it off, and a bit of fuel will come out that line. So just put a bit of rag there or something to catch it and be careful. So just looking at this now, I'm actually questioning if I need to take the tank off. I guess it would provide me with a little bit more space. But actually, I feel like that's given me plenty of room to just take the battery out, take this cover of the airbox out, and just access everything I need. So I don't know. I guess it depends on your appetite for working with the tank propped up, risking maybe damaging something, or removing it and risking maybe damaging something. So, but it gives you a lot of space. It will go back a little bit further than that as well. So I think this isn't a lazy way of doing it. It's just the thing is, I think I'm going to get to the plugs. I'm going to have a go at getting to the plugs in the air filter without removing the tank and just leave it up in like a service mode like that, I think. All right, so this is what I've done. Pretty simple ratchet strap onto there, to there, wouldn't fit through there. I mean, jobs are good, and I mean, I've got plenty of clearance here. I don't see why I'd need to take the tank off. So we'll see. So next thing to do, take the battery strap off, and this plate here, which appears to route some of the wiring, just taking photos to make notes where things go. There's a couple of sensors, it looks like. That one there, that one there. I think that's it on the top. So it looks like this one and maybe this one need to come off. So yeah, I'll do that and then see where we are. All right, so here we go. So I've undone the bolts here for this clamp that holds the wires on, and the air filter should be in here. So if we get a flat blade screwdriver, don't want to damage anything, but just gently pry it. Should. And there we go. It doesn't look like that's been... Oh! It's not the best of air filters, is it? This was only serviced 1,000 miles ago, apparently. According to the dealer stamp in the book. I suppose it's not horrendous, but it's not really the best either. So I've got a K&M one to go in there, so that's good. So at least the air filter change is actually pretty easy. You don't have to take the tank off. You can just lift it up, undo that piece, pull it out. No disturbing sensors and stuff. So the tricky piece now is going to be, I guess, removing the sensors. I've now got access to move the wiring on the battery. Looks like I will need to remove the battery terminals in order to do that, because I don't want to stretch the wiring, but we'll see. And bolt the top of the airbox, which looks like more Torx screws, and see where we go from there. Okay, so a bit of an update. You do have to take the battery out because it looks like I've undone all of these. You don't have to remove the sensors from the connectors, so you may as well just unbolt. Well, I guess you could unplug the electrical connectors, or you could just take the sensors out, whichever you prefer. I'll just put them to the side. Battery does need to come out because I'm assuming there's still some bolts for this box underneath, which means I had to take all my electrical wiring out here. There's a small plate down here with a Torx bolt. Can't quite see it, sorry, it's a bit useless camera. There we go, down there. Then what happens is that holds this bracket in place. It's really hard to see, sorry, but this can be moved out of the way so that then this battery clamp can pivot forward and you can take the battery out. Sorry for my camera skills, they're shocking. But anyway, yeah, bolt there, then you can pivot this forward, take the battery out, and then I'm guessing there's another couple of bolts under here, and then we can get the top of this off. Okay, so just a quick video of this piece. So still wrestling with this actually. It's nowhere near as easy as I had unfortunately hoped, because you know, the whole battery tray is attached to the airbox, which is just a pain in the ass. There were two smaller Torx screws right down here. It's really hard to see, but if I zoom in, there's one there, and it's one there. It's a slightly smaller one than the rest of the airbox, which is annoying. I did put this cover back on because I didn't want anything falling down in there into the intake. Then you've got these two, which is some slightly bigger Torx bolts again, and they go in here. You don't have a lot of movement for a ratchet or anything, so I just used one of these keys, but you don't have a lot of movement in there, so it takes a good while to get them out. It's starting to look like it's starting to move, and I can maybe think about trying to get it out, but not single-handedly. There's two more bolts here at the top, but I think that the airbox slides out of it. I think that's a bracket that's being held on there. So we'll have a look at how I get this off, and then I'll come back. Right, so all I can say is, wow, what a pain in the ass just to change some spark plugs. So you cannot remove the airbox without also removing the two big bolts at the top. So there were two small ones holding the actual tray in, but there's a bracket at the top, which is all hooked around the airbox as well. So you've got to remove those two big bolts at the top as well. And then once you've done that, and you need to be careful that those brackets don't drop in either. I'll show you. So once you undo the bolt, obviously that comes out and you've got a loose bracket that could fall down. So you need to kind of get that bolt out and then also maneuver the bracket out around the airbox and take it out. So just put that back down there a second. And then you can start to finally move your wires out of the way, slide the top of the airbox back and get it off. And I've done everything I needed to. was the airbox removed. You can see it in all its glory. So battery tray, battery clamp. Oh dear. And then these brackets here, which go round, hook round the frame somewhere, but they press against that piece of the airbox when they're bolted into the frame. So that's why when you're trying to get it out, you still can't get it out unless you remove those. Very annoying. That's going to be fun to get back in. You don't need to remove the tank. I've got plenty of room. In honesty, I've got what appears to be more than enough room. I'm just directly above the bike flat. I mean, the tank's over there, but I've still got plenty of room to work. I'm going to get these covered up so nothing drops in there, and then begins the fun of, I guess, unbolting this to then get to the coil packs. So I think the hardest part of it is done, but we'll see. Just cut back to the bike. So these are, there's some 4mm Allen bolts in there I've just discovered, trumpets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 of those to remove to get this off. Okay, so getting this off, this section off might be easier than I thought. So there was those 6 bolts. Once those 6 bolts are off, I can't see anything else to undo. So I literally just pulled slightly at this, and as you can see, it looks as though the whole thing is going to come free now. The thing I do need to be aware of is we've got some electronics here. There's sorry, I'm not looking with the camera, I'm looking with my eyes. There's a sensor here that looks like it needs to come out, but we'll stop that from being removed. And there's this box as well, which probably needs to be removed to take this off. And then hopefully once those 2 things are off, I can remove this, slide it out, and then I've got access to the coil packs and the plugs finally. Okay, so there are 2 Torx bolts that hold this in. There is one on a bracket, which is just slipped down here, one over here, and that comes off. And I can't get the camera in there, but there is a sensor and a pipe here that needs to come off. Success. So it's quite easy to get this piece out. What was holding it on? There's a breather pipe that attaches to the bottom. There's one with a clamp here. This was the main one that was stopping it from coming off. There was an electrical connector which I've removed. I'm guessing it's for the MAF or something like that, which was this one here. It was on the back of the box. Press the tab, pull off. And then we have coil packs and plugs. Had to disturb all this wiring and pull it out as well to slide it out. So finally there, looks like an 8mm bolt or something here. Pop those off, change the plugs, clean everything up, start to reassemble. Okay, so once you're here, it's a pretty quick job. There's no bolts or anything to remove here. The wiring loom has enough slack, and you just literally give them a waggle, pull them off, and then next you can get into the bore to get the plug out. I'm not sure what size it is actually, but I've got some old plug tools here. What am I using? 5/8/16mm. Can't read that on there, it's not focusing. But luckily, it's not like, it doesn't need one of those super slim line ones. I mean, that fits in, and there's still plenty of room, so not really a problem. So there you go. So yeah, I'm going to get these, pop these off, change plugs, and then really assembly is going to be the reverse of taking it out. So some fun there. Got a collection of bolts and bits and the tools lined up, parts over here as you can see, but yeah, it's going to be fun. Okay, so just a little extra step here I thought I would do, good or bad, but I decided to disconnect the electrical connectors as I'm changing the plug, pop the coil pack out, and then just pop the rubber boot off and just give inside there a little bit of a clean. I've just got some 5000 wet and dry there,
just to try and clean that contact point up a bit. It looked okay, but I mean there's a little bit of muck coming out, so I'm just giving those a clean before I put them back on to see if that helps. Okay, so we're getting there. I just made sure there were no wires being snagged or anything, so just made sure like all of these wires and everything are out the way of this box, the base plate when I put it back down. Around here there was this one plug to connect, electrical connector, plugged that on, relocated this with those 2 Torx screws. There was a breather pipe underneath, which I showed earlier, which just pushes on, and there's this one with a clip. This clip isn't that strong. If you've got some gloves on, I mean, I did do it with my fingers, but I don't put a glove on, so it digs into your fingers. You can do this with your fingers, or just to make sure it's on, just some pliers, and then get that pipe on, and you're good to go. So the next thing to do, that's all in place, is to get these back on with my 6 bolts, and then that'll clamp the base plate down. And then from there, it's relocating the top of the box again, those brackets on the side, just starting to put everything back together really. Alrighty, so this required a little bit of persuasion to get back in, but it wasn't too difficult. The main thing was you got to try and you won't just slot in like that, you need to try and put it in at an angle like this to get this snorkel in first. And this snorkel kind of clashes with this electrical connector that's clipped on the frame down here, so you just need to angle it, slot it in gently, and just focus on getting that snorkel under there, this electrical connector, and then give it a bit of a shake, and then it all lines up. So these are pretty easy to get back in actually. Thought they'd be a lot worse. But what you do is, the threaded bit obviously goes on the outside like that, so that you can bolt through, if that makes sense. And then what you kind of do is, like what I've done with this one here, don't have the bolt on it yet, but just put it down sort of beside the airbox and just slide it like back like that, and then just hold it in place. It's slotted so you can adjust it, and then with your other hand just put this and start threading it through. I've left this one slightly loose because once I've actually positioned the airbox, again, sorry for the poor lighting, there's actually a hole under here, and because I haven't fully tightened this up, I can sort of jiggle this bracket and move it to try and line the airbox and battery tray bolts up. So I'm going to put this bracket back on here next. I've put this sensor back in, put that sensor back in. So yeah, I'm going to put the bracket on here, fit the new K&N air filter in here, start putting all these bolts back in, and then it's going to be on to trying to put the battery and the battery clamp and stuff like that back on. Right, the Amazon gods have delivered this. Hopefully it's the right one. I hope it's the right one. I decided to go with the K&N. I've always used K&Ns on most of my vehicles, so yeah, I know some people use. And there it is. So that is K&N. And it looks to be the right one and a lot less shitty. So that'll go in there, slot it in, and then start trying to get the battery and the battery fittings back in. So it's not too bad actually. The wiring needs a bit of tidying up because I had to pull out a lot of my wiring, but it should be okay. All right, and there it is. So hopefully that helps somebody. My cat wants to say hello. Give me a mate. There he is. He's not going to look at the camera. He's so chilled. Right. You're right, mate. Anyway. Yeah, hopefully that helps somebody. And take care. See you in the next one.